A seventh grade student, was rushed to the hospital after he shot himself in an Ohio middle school boys' bathroom just before 8 a.m. local time. So this was with a .22 long gun, so tiny bullets, long barrel. Student appears to shot himself in the middle school bathroom in Ohio. He got off the bus about 7:50 a.m. on Tuesday, proceeded to the bathroom where he used a .22 caliber long gun to shoot himself. Summit County Medical Examiner's Office said the boy died at the hospital Wednesday. Jackson Township Police said the boy shot himself at the Jackson Middle School near Massacre. His name was Keith Simmons. At first, they did not report his name. Keith Simmons, 13-year-old Keith Simmons said, "You know what? This United States is no good. This American society," he's suicidal. Keith Simmons looked at the end of the tunnel, saw no light, saw no hope whatsoever. And so he went to school with a gun, and he shot himself. And he died the next day on Wednesday. The Children's Hospital Medical Center in Akron, the medical examiner's office, said the shooting sent the community into a panic, closing the district's 4 elementary schools and a middle school for the day. Because why? It makes no sense. He was by himself, locking down the high school for a couple hours. Simmons was listed in critical condition at Children's Hospital Medical Center in Akron after the incident. Simmons died at 12:31 p.m. Tuesday. So Keith Simmons should be commended. He was sad and depressed, but instead of turning the guns on other people, he could only hurt himself. So Keith Simmons, his name wasn't even reported. So if Keith Simmons would have turned the gun the other way around, his name would have been all over the place. We would have known everything that there is to know about Keith. But instead of doing the irresponsible, evil, malicious thing and hurting other people, he turned it on himself. And that's the heart of the problem. That goes straight to the heart of the problem. How come Keith Simmons looked around the United States of America and he said, "You know what? Nope." And then he saw nothing, no life preservers, no light at the end of the tunnel. Nobody gave him an option to say, "You know what? There's something else. There's something better out here. You could be different. This is a good world. You could be happy. Why would you want to do something like this?" And the reason why, we got to ask ourselves that, America. How come there was nobody out there to offer him that life preserver? And I'm sure everybody would say, "Oh, he had such a great, wonderful life." Bullshit. He had a shitty life. That's why he did what he did. Simmons, I'll thank Keith Simmons, and I'll, RIP him. Rest in peace, Keith Simmons. He had a right to take his own life. He didn't like life. Life wasn't good enough for him. At 13 years old, he can't make any, adult decisions. Well, he can make one adult decision. So he died on Tuesday, 12:31 p.m. He was listed in critical condition at Children's Hospital Medical Center in Akron after the incident. The gun Keith Simmons had used came from his mother's home. His mother was big into the military. He concealed the .22 caliber rifle underneath his clothing. Said that no more details that were shared. They didn't know how he got the weapon to school. Then there was also another thing that they're saying that could have been explosives or bottle rockets, batteries, and ammunition. It was supposed to be a distractive explosive device. Brink, I guess, is the guy giving the report. He wouldn't say how much ammunition was in Keith Simmons' backpack on a 911 call. It was released to the media on Wednesday. Assistant principal at the middle school told a dispatcher that the student had shot himself and needed help, though his pulse had remained steady. Sandra Easterly of Perry Township, a great-grandmother, Keith Simmons, said the family remained at Akron Children's Hospital. Wednesday afternoon, she said the family was not prepared to speak about the situation. Keith Simmons has a few public posts on his social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook, and I couldn't find them, actually, so I don't even know where his Facebook accounts are. And they don't indicate he planned to take the gun to school with him or had any intention of being violent. A post on his mother's Facebook page says she previously was part of a military community and has many friends who served or still are serving in the armed forces. So, thank you, Keith Simmons. R.I.P. Just one little fact here. Many Kentucky schools have armed school resource officers, often off-duty police officers charged with protecting students. There was an armed guard at the Majority Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. And there was one at the Marshall County High School, too. So in Benton, Kentucky, and in the Florida shooting in Parkland, there was an armed guard. There was a police officer. Some armed guard was there. Neither one of them took down the shooter. So, to say, I guess the good guy with the gun, he wasn't ready, right? It was another good guy with the gun that took him down. And that's an interesting fact. Essentially, this is a cult. America, we got to look at ourselves. This is something about our culture that is making Keith Simmons say, fuck all y'all. Fuck all this. Fuck this bullshit. Fuck this world. Peace. I'm out of here. Something about our culture. And to the people that are sitting there saying that he was hey, you didn't know him. You didn't know him. Yeah, I bet you didn't know him. You didn't know Keith Simmons. You didn't know Keith Simmons. You didn't reach out to Keith Simmons when he looked at the world. He said there is no other possibilities, no other options in this world. You didn't know Keith Simmons. And people say, what would you have said? Nothing. I would have listened. We're not listening to our kids, right? They go to school. They're told what to do. They go home. They're told what to do. When do they ever get their own opinion? When they're 18 and they're weakly and they have no power whatsoever to do any goddamn thing because you wrecked their life with the totalitarian public education system and the corporal punishment of child-beaten Christians. You didn't know Keith Simmons. Keith Simmons didn't deserve to die, but at least his last action was to hurt himself and to not others.